going to perform. That guy, his body yakhe, he can take whatever load when it comes to football.
All right, you agree with that, Junior?
South Africa ngazi why mabathi to date together bathisha mhlolo serious koqina lo mhlolo heavy because one uralan bebangibuza ngaye manje same le question ongibuza I think he kick off last week bangibuza ukuthi Sundowns ukusayina uRolane don't I think why bamnika 1 year kuleko lenqondo mele siyeke ibody. We don't have to look at the age. Look at the irresponsible umjite ground in emsebenzini wakhe ensimini. Utso is making a good point. I leader. Mina benyomnika nempelt. I know ngifika benyomnika impelt uvuya usayina kanje contract ni impelt because abana leader lapha. Everybody leza abafana intwana leza. Yes umzimba ungaqumba abanye stuff but
ngixolisa amachupho.
Yeah, ufika manje ku DStv Premiership umxolisa ene ngaphandle ukufika manje uvuyo is umuntu ozipinde national team bafana under 23, under 20, like it numbers don't lie.
Yeah.
So Vuyo is going to be a leader for these boys. Icala lapho nokulungisa ngithi bayilungisa iTS Galaxy. Team na technical team coach bemele bayenza uvuyo coach captain manje. And omunye bangamenza iplay kudala le mhlambe as a vice ngoba uvuyo cannot be led by those boys even nangudlana masikhoma iqiniso nange attitude yakhe and stuff. Izokwazi ukumotivate Nkululeko. Manje uvuyo I'm sure ikutshela enye into ngoba mina njengoba ngisho shilo manje December uyibeke kithi sigcwele njengoba ngitshela besonke myself kaGiso Sinamela besta sonke yabo bomzizi bona boskilo yabo khona enye.
So ebesithi yena umjita he can still continue.
Uthi mina bafethu ngicela ukunitshela ngabe ngiyanjoina kule group. Ngoba iningi lapha siyekanga but yena uyibeke official ukuthi ngiyacela ngabe nginjoina mara injury free njobi solo ushilo ukuthi uhamba by then bengakaveli ku media.
Yeah.
Wathi nyavaya but definitely show mina ngifuna ukudlala competitive football and I'm going to play. So umuntu okutshela kanjalo mnike angithi umbonile wathi kento phela amagame wadlalile kusolo sakuna blanda wenzile. Ayabona mawumbisela uvuyo ukuthi mhlambe isolo sibheka iCosta. Ama team azoqaka Nkululeko assessment kansiyenza kanjani. When you release the player assessment bayenze kanjani. Uvuyo assessment abayenze. Uconsider ama goal ngalabafana uvuya ngekho uhambisa uvuya and then you lead these boys. Sometimes Nkululeko equality whether irrespective of the age whatever immature age le uvuya kwemaye abantu abangaka abamature ubheke nabo in Europe masongaka kula mature khona uyazi ukuthi ifootball kuyo emaphetheleni uyithatha ngayo yonke indlela you building any career phela while playing kuyo emaphetheleni. So uvuyo can they give you import. I wish man ngazi ngaba advisor kanjani and then kube leader lapha eTheback bamdlalise mina kimi kunje bengamdlalisa.
Uyamkhumbula uHlongwane before I go to a break and listen to some friends as well. uHlongwane naye just to prove ukuthi maybe TS Galaxy zama ukuhlanganisa kunomfana uHlongwane I just forgot his name now beka ku Respect United nabo bam announce ukuthi bamsignile but bekune ama allegations ukuthi bekena inkinga off the field ku Respect United na TS Galaxy ibonisa ukuthi manje they're trying to strengthen their team by signing uHlongwane.
Yeah, owner ngizoba nevar ngibuzile owner esikhukhune ngaye.
Oh yes I remember that conversation.
He did ask me ukuthi Junior uHlongwane mina ngimbona ku Junior mara
Lifa Hlongwane.
Yeah usidumo kahle mfana ngimjwayele mina ngimjwayela ngithi ebhuquni ekasona ukudlala bekanokudlala before DStv Premiership usidumo wasethembisa. Yeah in South Africa if they can do this Nkululeko angipromote way ukuthi abafana bayenza amablanda lawa abanokwayenza bese siyabayeka batenta ibrand eyibonza zama team if they mess up. We need to understand nabele bayizwisisa umsebenzi. So uHlongwane thanks to iTS Galaxy mniki chance but naye he must know one thing umsebenzi they cannot yabona mistake asuke ngayo ma respect angeke bezo iphindi be mistake elo manje lapha ku TS Galaxy because the contract you negotiate going forward yoba nama stop and go kakhulu yabo Nkululeko yo dent career.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm offered 12 months because bayazi ukuthi kune risk factor.
You understand? Even bamtshela ukuthi we not like now 12 months mara even any days akuthola wenza so uyafaya. So Nkululeko effect ukuthi thanks to TS Galaxy I decision ekran le bayithathile but him can you respond as well?
All right. Which player would you like your team to sign in this transfer window? That's the question that we're asking to the fans. 064-525-0513. We'll do precisely that. Now we'll play a montage of some of your voice notes as well. And of course, we'll ask you this another question as well, which I'll ask to the gentlemen before we close the show. Uguti, bayibona kanjani AFCON up to this point? Are they happy with the standard? I remember Uguti, the first 3 days, bekushaya nje about 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. We're coming back to your voice notes live next.
Ubuhle baletsoakazi uhle balenzwakazi yo ubuhle balenzwakazi yo ubuhle bakhe. My name is Voice Nova and you're listening to Massive Metro.
Yeah, bro. Ubonga menzi hleke mntuba. Ngithi mina mfowethu angiphawule nami la ngabadlali ngifisa team member sayini. Okay, by the way, ngisupport Kaizer Chiefs, the biggest team in the country. Okay. Abadlali ngathanda ukubabona lapha mfowethu aze nje we need to tighten up the midfield. Yabona midfield but masingathola nje Siyanda Sithebe manje Sithebe lo wamaZulu kodwa yena yabo yeah engawuthola umsebenzi lapha mfethu yabo engasiza yabo maybe Ashley Dapros yeah bese kubo maybe uVictor Letsoalo yeah ngizosoqina iDrykin bona nje leyo 3 leyo mfethu yeah.
Igama is Khumutso from Limpopo. I'm a Kaizer Chiefs fan, so ngizoqala ngeKaizer Chiefs. Ngajabula kakhulu if Kaizer Chiefs ingasayina umkwena lo SuperSport cause siyamdinga lapha eCenter Kaizer Chiefs. Sidinga umfana njengomkwena, umuntu onevision, uzokwazi ukukhipha lamapass uyabona. Nodolu naye uzokwazi ukuthi adlale kahle, abonakale kakhulu. Yena uyadlala uyabonakala kodwa nje mangathola nje umuntu ozosizana naye lapha eCenter, I think Kaizer Chiefs ingatshintsha kakhulu. Then going on to AFCON, AFCON mina I'm not happy man. Abo referee bethu bayaphetha decision making iphuwa kakhulu. Nama teams wethu badlala ngathi basabukora. Understand ama-goals i-tournament nje ingena ama-goals wakhona nje understand ukuthi kwenzakalani nge-tournament yethu. As an African, I'm very much disappointed.
Evening guys, this is Sonabo from Ekabeka man. I'm an Orlando Pirates supporter. I think Pirates need a ±2 signings man. Goalkeeper or Ricardo Goss, I would love to see Ricardo Goss, and a centre back, someone who's more comfortable. Kalipola Ngasemva, then Umbule from the midfield. That's it. And according to his standard, say AFCON, I'm not happy man at all. I'm not happy. There's nothing interesting at all. I don't know whether it's because South Africa is not there, but I'm not happy man. But 2012 it was way better than Lendo and I'm not happy man. Thank
Nkululeko my brother umalibongo lo from Mnambithi mina bengajabula amakhosi esayina uTebogo Mokoena from SuperSport United bese kuzoba ukuthi phinde kube uZungu unkanyiso Zungu athole ihlapha la engalonwa khona kuze athole igame time ngoba lo mfana ngimthanda kakhulu muhle. Ngiyabonga my brother.
All right, there you go. Thank you very much for those voice notes. Keep them coming. 0645250513. Nkululeko Nkewu, Vilakazi, Junior Khanye, Ufense Pelia High, and Justice Shabalala. We are Team Idiski TV in full complement. Very first show of the year. Thank you so much for those voice notes. Very interesting choices. I'll give the gentlemen opportunities as well to respond to some of that. But I just want to read very quickly. It's a long statement, but this was coming officially from Royal AM. Izolo. It's saying Royal AM wishes to distance itself from all the media statements, both in print and electronic media, about the imminent sale of Victor Letsoalo. As a team, we think that people out there are trying to cause instability in our team and cause confusion as well. We want to set the record straight and state categorically that we have not been in discussion with anyone concerning the player besides what we hear on the media. We are also not interested to sell the boy, as he is an important part of our participation and progress in the league. As a matter of fact, our player is contracted to us and we have exercised our option until 2023. It goes on and on and on. But the point is, ikhulumile Royal AM emva kokuthi ke bathi uVictor Letsoalo uhlanganiswa neKaizer Chiefs ukuthi Chiefs yamfuna nani bathi bona bekune option actually ku contract ka Victor Letsoalo niyazi mos as former professionals option. So maybe if you can just explain to us ukuthi option ispana kanjani njengoba bathi manje we've exercised our option until 2023 kusho ukuthi if i-contract yakhe beyiphela manje it's now been extended. Option kuyini?
Option with my understanding, the option is when if the team believes in a player, the player can still do what they expect from him, and then by that option. But you know, it confused at the very same time on Nkululeko because they give an option to a player, but you'll find that a good thing. That option doesn't work to the player's favor. It works to the team's favor because it doesn't help if that option stands for the team, but does it stand for the player?
Yeah, this is the technical thing because Victor, with his agents and everyone else around his team, mhlambe bona bebespanela ukuthi iyaphela contract ngoJune 2023. Iyabuya yona iRoyal AM ngokuthi they've exercised the option. Junior, your experience about our options, we'll talk about Victor Letsoalo as well. I'm sure you will have your opinion about whether or not he's a perfect fit for Kaizer Chiefs. But do you suspect anything la ukuthi khona kushaya amanzi ngale option?
Yeah, option mabakhuluma so it means the option in favor simple favor Royal. Utso is making a good point. Ama option in favor my team in most. Babangasakufuna bathula. Especially now
they don't extend.
Yes. But submit to 6 months. 6 months before you can negotiate with any team. Max 6 months. Yeah. But now January available thule. But December makuba January available bakhuluma. So njengamanje into enzekile. Babonile ukuthi Kaizer Chiefs is pumping up. Manje asibenzeni. Bamtshela ukuthi bamnika option. Ngoba yaba favor noma ngayaphi yaba favor. Simple.
Is there option yokuthi angifuni mina ukuthi ni exercise ni extend
in most wow
uVictor ngakwazi ukuthi angifuni ukuthi
it depend ukuthi copy yakhe liyayisayina nabo mayiqala lesikhathi azoyisayina uye wayichecka wayifunda for real ne agent yakhe ukuthi ama favors kusho ukuthi le option yam favor na ngoba I option mele kube I favorable kube 50-50 yabo okanye ibe se play ngithi play yilo ngoba in most by team mina ngiyazi yabo bawenza kanjalo lama team kusho ukuthi manje ngoJune into enzakele uVictor bashilo bona kule option mangichecka ukuthi before we should before 6 months before contract iphela if we happy about you Tina if we happy this is what we're going to do we're going to offer you and then you will never speak with any team you understand. So I think into shamchita hiyo le yabo ukuthi bachilo ku option ukuthi yiko bakhuluma confidence baba ne confidence.
Yeah, because obviously in their mind bona bane contract nomdlali ephela ngo2023.
Yeah.
It's strange so ukuthi kune option lapho khona umdlali it seems as though akana choice. Mina angithi uVictor akahambe ku Royal AM. It's none of my business. It's none of our business ukuthi kumele ahambe. But maybe I'm just exploring this from a journalist ukuthi hayibo. What can you tell people about that ukuthi kunama options la umuntu engena option yokuthi cha angifuni
mina my problem ngama option is why do they have to wait until sale the 6 months yakho contract iphela? Because if they see ukuthi no man is a player available esimnidala team, don't wait for 6 months. Then again, you can exercise that option to say, Mamel, I'm going to selling 6 months. So exercise that option. Now, he needs to agree, a player, to say, okay, now exercise, all right. But you want to exercise that this option. This is what I want is to exercise. Then the boy needs to sign option. But now, it's funny because teams, they come and exercise options. But ask yourself, does the player want to that option now? If a player is helpful about to deal with
if
it.
option so by extender, this is a very strange thing.
Yeah.
If by extender, does it not need your signature to say ngiyavuma ke?
It does. It does. Actually, let me not say it does. Kufanele would the boy need to put the signature up to say, yes, I'm taking that option?
It's strange because you never hear in England or in Europe, but sim signing a 3 years plus option. If 4 years, 4 years, 5 years, 5 years,
Yes.
3 years, 3 years. In South Africa, there's this thing, and maybe on the continent, the African continent, there's this thing, Yogoti, because the way that we need to explain it to people, Victor usignile na Celtic before he be Royal AM,
Yes.
they signed, maybe it was a 3 years, but a plus 1 year option. Gushuguti Masai Zopela 3 years.
Yeah.
A club can actually have a first choice Yogoti at 12 months more.
Finally, would negotiate naye. Remember, when you sign for that 3 years, you've got that package. It 3 years.
Oh yes.
So now my pay that 3 years, it means now there will be coming another year.
May
of
affect the
which
salary.
Yes, everything needs to change. It means now it goes back to say, if I would for me, the option is to you giving us a first option as a team that you're playing for Uguti, we can sign you back again. So, but 9 days is uvela umuntu bathi option, but the player is signing upon. How do you do that?
All right, Julia. Victor Letsoalo, one way or the other, Begafunwa Kaizer Chiefs. It was written in the newspapers that Kaizer Chiefs want him. That's why Umamkize responded with, we want the boy, and that's her exact words. Semfuna Mfana is important to us. Victor Letsoalo, the strange thing about him is that he's been growing in the last 2 years. Bafana, first match yake Kosafa Cup ushayi hat-trick. We Celtic, I think he had like 12 goals. Manje we Royal AM unabo 11 goals. He's been growing in the last 2 years. Would he be a good fit ngestyle sakhe sokudlala? This is where obviously the problem comes with you and the fans, because uyibona ngendlela yakho. Would he be a perfect fit? Sure.
Kuleko labantu laba wrong signing again. Hayi imhlolo serious lo. Ngiyezwa noSithebe nje yala wrong signing again. You've never raised your hands kumaZulu whereby even national team, like being in the national team, raising your hands, because Kaizer Chiefs fan national team. Njoba ngisho ngithi identity mangisuke ngikhuluma ukuthi bayiluzile, bayiluza. Mina lo mfana uVictor Letsoalo ngifuna ukena one ukuthi is a good technical now in terms of tripping and pass movement of the ball. Angithi njoba manje khona bokhike nabokhama, you need a person that could move off the ball manje. Kumele umuntu basic alocrate. Ngikhuluma ngebasic, ukwazi ukutrap ukumove, one touch and play and move off the ball.
Let's look at Victor Letsoalo. So let's talk about him only.
Yeah.
We'll get to Sithebe. What I want you to do is, if you're saying he's a wrong signing for Chiefs, if Begayago Chiefs, why? What do you say to Kaizer Chiefs fans about 13 goals per season over the past 2 seasons? Simfuna athatha 13 goals ayifake ku Chiefs to help Chiefs win the league. La 15 goals yakhe sifuna it translated to Kaizer Chiefs.
One ukompete nabo banda dlala khona. Which team evaluate club Kaizer Chiefs ne Royal is the same team now. Our expectations are the same now. The pressure now Manyamu yenzile win play of the season, play of the season, Cape Town City, or winner is it Nedbank or whatever, play of the tournament.
Yeah, and he went to Turkey.
He went to Turkey. Wafika bamsani game one but Bakrin. One game, only one game, one game. Sani one game technical team at Simnandi. Ile nto ezibhayizisa abaningi ama-player Nkululeko uthola ukuthi usuka kubwenza imanga. Whereby one but mabahlala phansi ne-contract umfana asibe neqiniso angifuni ikenzeka sharp in most I won't be 100% but it's proven no Tyson bekunama expectations bekuyi-captain cabanga uTyson ngedevelop ugraduated under 20 was a captain, under 23 national ngikhuluma ngama-junior national team i-captain bafana captain come Orlando Pirates wenza amaplan ukwazi ukushaya i-through ball ngedabi net uyangi-understand ukuvets bekuyi-captain la suka ku-Ajax bekuyi-captain Nkululeko now ku-Pirates is even not even bench as a captain usuka from week ugace bhande bakubeka ebenchini. Nkululeko i-pressure ama-expectations mangafika Kaizer Chiefs psychological azomdabula. You must be born ukudlala lapha Nkululeko. Laba bantu laba ama-player adlala lapha talent only is not enough. Ukhompyutha nje ukuthi kumele azi ukuthi ukhompyutha one, ukhompyutha noKhama Bilad, ukhompyutha nabo Kick Ntolo ngoba badlala in most nyazi coach Chiefs ifuna ukudlala nge-target man. But i-target man ngisasho namanje istoppa yonke imove eKaizer Chiefs. UVictor yes ama-chances ngoba ezinye izinto angithi uNkulunkulu ozidecide but ama-brother ngeke kuyoba the same. Is similar le situation kanange. Ukore in maybe 20 games ukore goal ngenza example. In 14 games ukore goal le one. nge-tap in.
So you've seen Victor, you are one of our analysts too. You've seen his game. You see, the one thing ngikhulumele ngayo Victor ukuthi I cannot lie to people and say he's a good player in terms of fundamentals, trapping, passing, moving, spacing. But secondly, I can also not lie and pretend that he doesn't score goals. Now, what we've learned working with the two of you is that it doesn't always work out that you become a top goal scorer with Celtic and you will go to Chiefs, Pirates and become that same top goal scorer. What's your opinion on Victor?
Nkululeko, you know, Victor a good player. Uyakora. One thing that definitely siphe is ukuthi usarround ama-player njani. And again, ukhumbula ukuthi as coaches when we plan kuma players, we plan around a certain player to say we work for this boy.
Sure.
You know, if you can look at the game like Victor, it doesn't really make those runs ngaphandle because there are players that they need to make those runs. He's always in the box. And it's working for them. It's working for him. That's why he's scoring goals. So I believe ukuthi if Bekangaya Chiefs, he was gonna add a value. Right now, Chiefs, they need a target man.
What do they have at the moment as forward players?
Chiefs manje, they rely on Billiard as a target man.
Okay, let's say that's true. Billiard, not Dolly, they are two most relied players.
Yes.
But they have Nurkovic, they have Castro. That's where I'm trying to get to go. Which angaba yena upgrade ku Nurkovic no Castro. I may be missing someone else or forward because the Chiefs. But mostly it's been Castro. There's Lazarus Kambole, your favorite striker as well. No Parker, yes, thank you. Yeah, no Parker. So would he, when you look at Victor and you look at Parker, Castro, Nurkovic, Kambole, is he an upgrade or a downgrade? I'll give you that question as well. Is he an upgrade or a downgrade to what they already have?
Currently is an upgrade. Because remember, sometimes we don't have to dwell with history. We need to look at what we can do now. And currently now, he's scoring. He's scoring, is always in the right positions at the right time, and he's getting those balls and he's putting those balls in the net. And looking at the Chiefs for me, looking at the Chiefs the way they're playing, I'll have Letsoalo, I'll have Billiard, I'll have Udoli. Supporting
so
him
is this your original idea? Or you are just responding to Indaba Zoguti, he may go to Chiefs. When you were sleeping at home, would you have thought of Victor Letsoalo going to Chiefs? Or would you have thought of a different striker or a different kind of striker?
Looking at the current players, it's now PSL. For Chiefs, I'll have Letsoalo Lapayana because Chiefs, they only need somebody in the box that can score. Because if anything happens with Billiard, then it's out for Chiefs.
All right, Junior, Letsoalo, is he an upgrade? Ku Nurkovic, ku Castro, ku Parker, and everyone else that they have.
Situation yakifana neyakamabasa from Orlando Pirates, Celtic Safia Pirates sink. So it's ingenza so Nkululeko. Give me it's a not upgrade.
Akakho ngcono kunezi forwards that Chiefs zifo.
Ngoba truly speaking mangiba never. uCastro game. uCastro ulazy ne. But in terms of technique, give more game. Is far better in terms of finishing kula player wonke.
Sure.
And uLetsoalo ungizwe kahle Nkululeko. That kumele uzibuza ama question amaningi kakhulu. With those players aba winner these awards and stuff, ngenza ngama expectations nabo bona bomanyama baningi. Ngenzele nangabo Tyson baningi. Ukufika lapho kula ma expectations I expect ukuthi manje eboxing bamfuna finish. Do you think ngikhuluma coach manje
Stuart Baxter
is going to play him ahead of lengwenye njengoba bathi buyile training uSami Nkovic striker yayinqanywa leya yayinqanywa iqala ngaye amfake sub noma ikhona ikwazi unokubeka
11
yeah unokubeka left so a question ukuthi the coach is gonna ngoba iphilosophy ye coach lwamjida mbona udlala kanye noShothu nokumbeka ebenchini irrespective to team uzomdlalisa na ufuna a coach or ufuna technical team.
All right, we'll take a quick break. When we come back from the break, we'll discuss more transfer stories. There's a lot of things that needs to be discussed, of course. We'll come back or we'll try and check out what some of you are saying with the transfer wish list as well. Before the end of the show, we'll talk about the African Cup of Nations.
Exact cares for the things that are made to last, and we know you do too. We know family is the fabric of your life, your tribe, your safe space. We know you care about value. When it comes to fashion, you choose versatility. We believe the values you hold close to your heart should be the ones you wear on your sleeve. That's why Made to Last is the exact promise we make to you and your family.
Massive 11.
Nkululeko, my brother. This is Nelus all the way from Cape Town. Khanye, hoi hoi. I am an Orlando Pirates fan. For me, I would like Orlando Pirates to sign 5 signings. Goalkeeper department, Sfiso Mlungwana. I think we need a goalkeeper. And Sandilands obviously will retire soon. Defending department, I think we need only one defender. Kosnatis BC. Someone who can pair with Olisanda. Someone, when Olisanda is injured, we know that we have backup. Someone who can like pair with Olisanda, play with Olisanda, so that our defense can be much stronger. Our wing backs, we are fine for now. And then we need an attacking midfielder. That's where Tabonota comes in, because our attacking department hasn't been that much strong. We miss goals, and when missing goals, it comes back to you. So it's time we sign. With this transfer window, we take it as our opportunity to sign to make sure that the attacking department is sorted. So Tabono Data, Ayana Potosi, and Victor Letsoalo, 3 players. Tabono Data, Ayana Potosi, Victor Letsoalo are the key to the Orlando Pirates attacking department. As for in the back, Sisom Lungwana and Kosnatis BC. Sisom Lungwana, Kosnatis BC, Tabono Data, Victor Letsoalo. Lastly and not least, Ayana Potosi. These 5 players I would like Orlando Pirates to sign them.
Hello, my name is Sheikh Mashaba. You are listening to the Massive 11, the mecca of football lovers.
All right, welcome back to Massive 11 on Massive Metro. My name is Nkululeko Nkewu. I'm with Justice Shabalala, Ufensa Piliahaye, Vilakazi, and Junior Khanye as well. Thank you very much for joining us. MassiveMetro.com, Massive metro.com. If you're having problems listening to us on Facebook, of course, that's not the perfect sound. We just give you an additional thing that it's radio, but here are the visuals. We give you that on our Facebook. Last time I checked, there were like 400 or 500 people along with us on the journey on Facebook. Thank you very much. I mean, it's the first show for the year. Some of you didn't even know that we are live, and we had around 100 people also on our YouTube live. We thank you so much for hopping along in this journey as well. I didn't plan to talk about this, but I'm thinking about it now. Because there's a fan who just gave us a voice note 80, and I kept on thinking ukuthi uzamu uthatha zonke players Arosas 5 with Pirates Omlungwana Mbunjana and all of those guys, but I felt when I was discussing transfers with my friends amaningi, I felt ukuthi Orlando Pirates actually don't need a lot of players. What do you think in terms of reinforcement? If you were Uprasten, Floyd Mbele Jr., would you be doing anything in this window? I mean, it's already 14. It's already halfway through the month. I'm not sure if they were actually planning to bring in anyone.
Yeah, they were not planning to bring anyone. In fact, Mara, in terms of Angit Batima Bonulo Chabuye, yes, at this park. Dobe angakabi grand mara bebanga nankinga badla amazulu kunguthi amazulu they just beat Sundowns after that game. We are let this park, make no mistake Nkululeko. Also Ngonule Pasa is back naye.
Yes.
Banengqondo ukuthi angithi they rely kule nto.
They feel like new signings.
You understand? So Pepra ushayi 2 manje.
Sure.
Ukuthi bekaceda ukushaya amana lehashi.
Peprandowski.
Yeah. So ivaru ukuthi game yabona mina nguPrasten. Mina bengizomropa mina kimi lo mfana umbule ku SuperSport uthi Ashley the Prince yabona sikhulume ngeKaizer Chiefs instead ukuthi basayine lo mjida yena lo uLetswalo mini Chiefs le mfana lo for national team ukuthi umnyango every time le mfana is improved compared to these years mangampeka manje kuleke ze top striker.
Absolutely.
Make no mistakes khuluma ngokusheshisa ngithi Chiefs the way badlala ngakhona bokhama and stuff uKigen ibrain is more of Kigen ukwazi ukucabanga uyakwazi ukusheshisa ukwazi uvaridicate.
Do you realize ukuthi ku midfielder yakho, I know you have other signings that you will mention, but I'm thinking now as you're talking about it, With midfield, you actually have a lot of players with Orlando Pirates that have to be shuffled. If Umbule needs to go somewhere, whether he goes to Sundowns, it's going to be a win for Sundowns. Yeah. If he goes to Chiefs, it's going to be a win for Chiefs. If he goes to Pirates, it's going to be a win for Pirates. It's going to add value. But the problem you're going to have at Pirates, even like with Sundowns, how do you shuffle? But Ben Mutswara, they have Goodman Musele, they have Umunare, they have Unkanyiso Zungu. They have Undlovu, I'm sure he's going to go at some point because he's no longer playing anymore. But if he packed in midfield, the Pirates is similar to his Sundowns. So if you have Usipho Mbule, how do you, because Umakaring and I, bamlahlakla midfield, Nomlambo, Umdambo, bamlahlakla midfield now. So how do you make sure that he gets played?
Yeah, one, H-Umfan is a side in like a second banana player manning. But in
that's what I'm saying, like with central midfield. In
terms of quality,
yeah,
I see enough. They look like they've got many players, but the quality is not enough. That's why Amanye, Jangabuzung, Lamfani Pololas, but you have only coach and technical team, they don't believe in him. But Manje me Nagim, Umbule effect, if he can come there, irrespective of what is going to break into the starting 11. You need him, number 10, Bam need us of a Batalang speed Kakulu now. Bam need him to suffer it, individual brilliant number 10 Bam need. Mobunsa kuna mangam check go Aros yes was good. Stage fright, some double. We need to be honest by now, we should have seen.
He's not the same player.
Yeah. You go bam squeeze a left, wing forward, and then Oga right, wing forward, in central bam keep. Oga bam fag sena ma minute. Is never aksuye lo mazio. Yeah, every time he's got the ball full extra touch and nama fans go Aros behanga na pressure, less pressure. If extra touch upasa backwards akekho bona. Now our expectations are high, we have it. Another thing abomakaring last position. You ngithi mfana uzodlala. If mina boutshwa computer bekanga computer nomtambo nalonkanyiso zungu. Those are number 10 uPirates ngabadlala currently. Mara because of wrong decision they bawenzayo. Ngena noma bani. But the fact but ubukeka ngathi bana ama player Nkululeko but ama player wekho valid awa 80 value. Maningi for nothing. I mean aboshandu wayebadlala. It's a fact Nkululeko aboshandu.
Boy, he's been scoring. Bamenzo number 9.
No, washayile nyiko 9 ngambona msho December waye Mauritius msho. We over waye Mauritius.
He's been scoring so do you feel like Orlando Pirates has a lot of players so or maybe they need to add a few players here and there because one thing that's been wrong with the Orlando Pirates recently bazama kuyilungisa manje because the last time they with transfer window bafaka uShandu noMngonyama. I'm just talking about the number of players. Shandu, Mngonyama no Makobela. They didn't have a lot of players with last transfer window, but we felt over the last 4 years they would have 6 players coming in, 7 players coming in, take 3 players from Chippa United, 4 players from Golden Arrows. They used to do that, but they're not doing it anymore now. Do you feel like they need to add any stability with Timiabo, or they need to just make sure they use whatever they have at the moment?
Nkululeko, Pirates, they've got players, but they don't have quality. When you get players for Chiefs, Pirates, and Sundowns, we're talking about quality, and players that they can rise in the occasions. Pirates, in those players.
Would you say that Umunare is not quality?
No, Umunare for me that's quality.
Would you say Ben Muswari is not quality?
No, not for me.
Nganyiso Zungu is not quality?
Quality.
Fortune Makaring is not quality?
Not for me.
Goodman Musele quality?
Not for me.
Nsako Makubele quality?
Not for me. Nkululeko,
Ulinda Mdambo?
Yeah, now you're talking. You're talking my language now. Nkululeko, angazi maybe ngifundiswa ngendlela wrong even in coaching. A good thing. You in your team you must have defensive players and have attacking players in the midfield. If you've got defensive players, then you're gonna have a less creativity going forward. So that's what is happening at Pirates. At Pirates, they've got players that they can defend, but when it comes to creativity, it's a problem. You go Ubona Ikemiabo doesn't play in the midfield. Ibalape mover, defense, and then it will go forward lapana speed pumping. They play with speed because of why I think they've realized with like mid lane we don't have creativity.
There's something that you guys are not talking about. Maybe it's because we're not talking about it now, but that team has 2 assistant coaches. That club has 2 assistant coaches. And maybe that's the biggest elephant in the room.
Let's yabona masoyibeka kanjalo. Izohlaba enhlizweni kwabanye abantu because sizobeka nje obinjalo la etafuleni. Mina futhi angijiki futhi. Kuleko. Let's look at the 2 coaches. And then we look at the background. It will tell you. One Fatu Davis, for Mina, he's good an assistant. He's doing very well. There is learning. Maybe one day he will have that, Abinala Mandla to stand as a coach. I respect Mandla Nigaz, but I believe to be a head coach at Paris, not now. So
it kind of explains Oguti, you were describing all of the Pirates and a problem they are taking play. Yes. As you were speaking, the coach inside me is saying, maybe that's coaching. Maybe if they had a head coach, they would find a better way to play. Because we've always been saying, Pirates has a similar squad to his Sundowns, pound for pound in terms of quality. But maybe the coaching is a problem. Maybe the environment is a problem.
The level, remember, if you look at Sundowns, look at those coaches about La Payana. The experience that they've got, it's so huge in such a way you can't even compare to those guys. Those guys, if you look at, was an assistant coach at some point, as a coach of Bafana, Steve Compel. He carried arrows whereby no one thought of arrows will be a good team.
Sure.
Learn a lot from Gugu. They even went to win
the Champions League together. Junior, I'm so sorry, because of time.
Yes.
Would you not say that all they need to sign is a coach? The biggest signing of Orlando Pirates, since Evaile was in power, their biggest signing should have been a coach.
Nkululeko is making a good point. La uqime yonke into kahlahlela umlilo wonke bowubaso uqimile maphakathi. Good question. Amana leader, they don't have a coach that was got uNkulunkulu angiqondisa usebenzisa with got balls. Ozothi mina ngifuna ama players sona. So basana ama player before ama coach uNcikazi lo bayibafika bamnika uFatlu ba assistant aboyi2. They signed so many players, the coach says. So ikutshela enye into kakhulu akuna coach whereby ithethe mayifika lapha yathi ngifuna ubani. It tells ukuthi wonke umuntu unesay lapha. And mhlambe ngikhuluma ngoPresident ngikhuluma ngayo Floyd. Maybe we need to be a GM and a technical director yiba basana ama player. Ngoba mangibheka mina Nkululeko i-lineup yabichange every day abana i-lineup namanje angazi badlala amagame ayingaki. Ufika uTyson uHappy Jele the most experienced with the most appearance anawo kuOrlando Pirates. Bathethe Ampel afika umfana na 1 week contract by sign amanga check is the must play and also with the Ampel ikuphi lento ngoba masikhona iqiniso go back kuleko. I don't think uFatlu noNcikazi bayazi Orlando Pirates. I don't think they know it. Deeply no,
they've never been players. They've never been players.
The level
as assistants. They just
so Orlando Pirates are again. Like we need to be honest. That's why I'm even if they lost one of these things, but concerning the matchup, but they don't know deeply what even nama supporter feel kanja. But then kangakanani. So lapha kufuneka umuntu oziclub. Yabona mina I'm very disappointed. I respect to Dr. Ivan, but decision making was wrong. Supposed to bring somebody that's why I'm not so later. He's the most qualified coach. Bring him as an assistant again. Because he hasn't done nothing good arrows good Pirates. We need to be honest. He needed to grow, stay there season. Let him do club. And then you bring a head coach, Mara advise umuntu wazio. Itlap wazio. Na lo muntu ozomletha ungalethi umuntu letha abantu abasimile in terms of osimile njengo style of play. Ngoba iVAR uNcikazi ngisayiphinda Nkululeko akayikeni Orlando Pirates. That's why bona boShandu badlala regularly. Nini uNtsako akadlala grand udlala kahle uyadlala. UFatlu all the players weMaritzburg kadlalile bawasign. You can tell ukuthi une influence. It doesn't know Orlando Pirates. Kune identity lapha. Pirates bedlala ngamawinga Nkululeko. We need to be honest. Noma abadlali 43 labantu abayi3 bale urlayikiba than this wing back. Yes, noma ngabe unawo ngeke hambe oyi2. Akuna leader ubabheka ukuthi most amagoli aba consider kanjani. You find at the back is central midfield the last man. There's no leader. I-assessment ikuphi. So ikutshela enye into ukuthi i-leadership ukhuluma igama eliserious.
They're going to CAF Confederations Cup very soon. They're going to withdraw a CAF Confederations Cup, the Champions League. shouldn't they go there with already a head coach? I mean, it's been a long time.
Yeah.
But my assistant coaches, shouldn't they just go there? So already you remember the biggest disappointment year 2 when we were watching a South African team on the continent was not when Chiefs lost the final in Al Ahly. Kind of we were expecting that in a way.
Yes.
The Chiefs would share Al Ahly with finally CAF Champions League. We kind of expected that because we knew going to that final our teams be. But when Raja Casablanca took on Orlando Pirates, who quarter final of the Confederations Cup, it was men against boys. That game was 4-0. Uloch was the last man, Makshaya Makona. It was 6s and 7s. Again, the same thing might happen now because they don't have a coach. Do you not think that going to the Confederations Cup group stages, kumele bahambe the coach?
I thought mina ukuthi njengoba kuthathwa i-break manje ku-December.
Yes.
I thought ukuthi maybe chairman Dr. Ivan Khoza and Obrasteni no Floyd, they will sit down and try and find a solution, because really this is a big team, and the big team with 2 assistant coaches abangenayo that experience of carrying a big team or carrying any big stage wherever they're coming from. It's a problem, because Paris is a big team, a team and a star, and they need to show this is a big team. But now I don't know, I just feel good. Maybe they can try something now, and maybe low coach Azoban is cut to prepare a team manager, because really having a big team like Pirates and having 2 assistant coaches, experience, the high experience of being there, a big team or in the big stage, it's always going to be a problem in Paris.
All right, 2 minutes left on the show. Very quickly, just your impression, Junior, on AFCON so far. You happy with the officiating? Abantu bakhala nge-official, ukurefra, bakhala ngabikho so far. What have you made?
I'm very disappointed in African football. Too much physique. There's no philosophy. It's only Nigerian that I see individual. Explosive
by Egypt.
Imagine udlala amaplayer engakhiwe alakhri lapha. In most about 4 or 5 players.
Yes, even the goalkeeper.
No strengths each other, but players are taking them to 2 pieces. 1v1. Kulego individual brilliant by 7 is Nigeria. Uphinde uyinike benefit of the doubt this national team ukuthi abanaso isikhathi enough to prepare. But the physique ining, technique ipali lali yaphezulu ibhola.
Webheka manje isando kuphela iSenegal neGuinea 0-0. There's been a lack of goals in this
physique angithi ubuya ngokuthi lo mude emidlile nesofaka ubheke Nkululeko ama midfield wabo ukuthi made kangakanani, ubheke ipower physique, umuntu la ushaya ibhola ngepower yamplasa ngalo. So I'm disappointed qala na technical ukushaya target at least make the goalkeeper safe. 1v1 engakaphumile lapha wana kunzima ukuthi ukuchipha ibhola. I-vision awareness yabo before ibhola lifike enyaweni, umuntu uprotect ibhola ngibe kumele bamfoul kube i-move engathena njenge one touch uyi-kicks. Very disappointed. There's no skill. Technique is poor, awareness in terms of vision, decision making wrong. In most, there's too much fouls. So, So Nkululeko, I'm very disappointed.
I remember there was a game that I've been watching a lot of these games, and I remember there was one game where the referee just every second kuna mafoul. So last 30 seconds, sir. What do you make of the AFCON?
Can I leave you with the
and what's your coach by coach?
Aside meetings on the
Sure.
Let's look at the coaches that are coaching AFCON. African coaches or overseas coaches, because I believe African coaches, they know the type of players that we have. They know the football that we need to play. That's why you see Uguti. If you can look at the history, Algeria, Morocco, Egypt, and other African other countries, they had their local coaches, and you'll see the flow of the game. You'll see the creativity. You'll see the goal scoring chances and goals being scored. But now, since it's more tactical, illimite manje ini, illimite the flair, illimite skill, illimite namacoach.
Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us for the first show of the year. Thank you so much. It's Vilakazi, Junior Khanye, Offensa Pilia High, and Justice Shabalala as well. Thank you so much as well to you for joining us. There were hundreds and hundreds of people that joined us in our first show. Of course, there will always be more every Friday between 5 and 6. You will hear from these guys, some videos coming tomorrow, and next week as well, we'll cover the DSTV Compact Cup. We'll talk about transfers now this weekend, who's going to go where, why.